Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new video today. Dragon Man is back at school after a long Easter weekend, just to have an entire week off next week again. Oh well, so be it. I'm going to start this video with a synopsis of what I ended yesterday's video with. When we talk about the royals and the non-royals in Montecito, we often talk about NDAs, non-disclosure agreements. Now, yesterday I went into quite a bit of detail about United States laws. I have since looked into British and South African laws, and some of you have sent me the laws in Australia, New Zealand, and a couple of other places. Now, as far as Britain is concerned, I received about a 10-page with examples, etc. document, and it is actually fantastic because it refers to specific cases. But before we get into this document, and I use extracts as illustrations, let me give you the general lowdown, and I'm going to quote directly from this particular document. A non-disclosure agreement cannot stop anybody from reporting a crime, and it should not stop anybody from reporting a crime. A non-disclosure agreement should not and does not stop an employee or anyone for that matter from reporting discrimination, including harassment and sexual harassment. This definitely also applies to assault and sexual assault. Of course, there are other types of crimes, and one just needs to make sure you are protected under the Whistleblower Act if it comes to, say, theft or fraud and things like that. Also, always, it doesn't matter what, that you have evidence of your particular issue. Non-disclosure agreements were originally meant to safeguard businesses, to protect their ideas, their innovations, and so on. Or then to protect a principal or employer's privacy, okay? Not to cover up crimes. There is, however, one snag, though, which is often used in court, and that is what is called a settlement. In the case of NDAs, what often happens is that a company or a person, an individual, will offer you money to make it all go away. And then the deal is that if you take the money, you have to sign this particular NDA. Now, in general, maybe not in your particular case, but in general, even if you signed a settlement agreement and an NDA as part of this particular settlement agreement, and even if you accepted money, you can still report a crime if one was perpetrated. In this particular case, the case I have in the back of my mind, however, I would 100% suggest that you speak to a lawyer first, because there are indeed issues when it comes to an NDA being part of a settlement. And there are many arguments which can be brought up in court if money and an NDA was indeed part of a settlement. Having said that, there is one very specific thing very few people know, very few lawyers even pay attention to, because they think the public does not know any better. An NDA in the United Kingdom is null and void if it is not set for a defined period of time. Now, that defined period of time can be 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. It can be 50 years, it can be 60 years. It must just be reasonable and for a defined period of time. It must have an end date, an expiry date, so to speak. It is also null and void if it covers information that is not really confidential. It is also null and void if it asks for illegal conduct, or when the NDA limits or tries to limit the reporting of a crime. So I'm going to give you a total 100% imaginary example. Let's say the son of a rich daddy sexually assaults an unwilling participant, and let's say she gets badly hurt, or she falls pregnant, or sustains some sort of mental trauma. Okay? So if this comes out, it would certainly harm daddy's business. The son will get kicked out of college, university, or the military. So daddy gets his lawyer and they go see the girl and her parents, and daddy and his lawyers offers her and her parents an amount of money, the likes of which they have never seen before. But obviously this money comes on condition that the girl and her parents sign an NDA and promises to never talk about it again. Not to anyone, including the police. Well, in Britain, this is illegal. This NDA would be null and void, number one, because the NDA does not have an expiry date. Never and ever are not words used in an NDA in the United Kingdom. Number two, non-disclosures, including the example I just used, is illegal and void in the United Kingdom because it is an attempt to limit or stop the reporting of a crime. As a friend of mine said when we talked about the topic, if someone offers you $1 million to keep your mouth shut, a court would likely have awarded you 3 times more if you were the victim. So to get practical and get back to our imaginary story, if daddy and his lawyer offered you annual payment of, say, $500,000 or even $1 million, an annual payment, say, for the rest of your life, the court would likely have awarded you $2 million annually for life. Okay, so again, I'm answering a question. So although I did my best, I'm not a lawyer, so I would suggest to go speak to a lawyer. And if you can't afford one, I'm sure there is some kind of legal aid in your country. If you are scared, then I suggest you make your situation public so the world can see and take care of you, keep an eye on you. Newspapers also often have a very proficient lawyer who, in exchange for your story, may offer to help. But never mind, just go and get help. Even if it is, say, from a priest, as long as you are absolutely sure you can trust the person, get someone to share it with and to guide you in the right direction. Remember, I can only share what I read on the internet or what I research out of books. I do not have the background and so on. I haven't worked with cases like this. So the smaller issues, the nitty-gritty, I do not have the experience to guide anyone in this, but at least I've given you some ideas, I hope. Okay, I see everyone is all over the place about Jake Rosenberg having taken photographs of his beautiful friend, Meghan Markle. Now, I don't know what Meghan is doing, putting her head against Jake's shoulder for a photograph, but I'm telling you, Jake has a real-life little boy whom he loves very much, and his wife, I think her name is Jessie or Jessica, is a lawyer. So Jakey baby really stands to lose a heck of a lot if he should bam around with Megsy. Besides, I seriously doubt Jakey baby has the kind of money Megsy likes or prefers. Anyway, this is something I care little to nothing about. I don't know Jake. He may be a nice guy. And then again, many nice guys who actually look like nice guys are real arsewipes. So, who knows? And when it comes to Harry, he had been warned, but he wouldn't listen. He indeed knows about Madam's 2PORN tapes. He himself said he had nightmares and PTSD and he had to get some mental help because of some of Meghan's scenes in Suits and other movies. So, I mean, he's not ignorant of her behaviors. So, I mean, really, who cares? We have been waiting for news of the divorce for, what, 5, 6 years now? Another month or 6 or a year. I mean, really, who cares? What we care about are the lies and the injustices. I mean, otherwise, Harry and Meghan would have been yesterday's news. Okay, guys, listen. During the making of this video, I saw something which really upset me, so I'm going to cut this short. We'll talk again tomorrow. So until then, please take good care of yourselves. Bye.